Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel. And welcome back to the 1985 World Series in season ticket baseball. We are live once again at Olympic Stadium in Montreal, Quebec, Canada for Game 5 of the 1985 World Series between the Detroit Tigers and the Montreal Expos. The injury bug is done with the Tigers, but we have to wonder if it's too late for the Tigers in this one, as the Expos currently lead this World Series 3-1, and they have a golden opportunity to close the Tigers out here in Game 5 of this World Series. Just getting everything all set up here. Okay, we are all good to go. So, as usual, we will have our pregame festivities, as if the fans in attendance will please rise, remove their head coverings. We will have the playing of the national anthems. First, we will have the American national anthem. And if the fans will please stay standing with their head coverings removed, we will next have the playing, once I get this curtain closed, we will next have the playing of the Canadian national anthem. Thank you for your indulgence in the anthems. Win or lose tonight, this will be the last game played at Olympic Stadium for this 1985 replay. If the Tigers manage to force Game 6, that will be at Tiger Stadium, but that will be tomorrow. So, with the fans here in a frenzy at Olympic Stadium, as the Expos stand on the cusp of history, what say we get down to the field and get into the top of the first. Starting pitcher for the Montreal Expos tonight is their number 2 starter, Bill Gullickson. 14-12 with a 3.52 ERA, 181 and a third innings pitched, 68 strikeouts, 47 walks, and 8 home runs in 85. And let's meet the Tigers lineup, trying to get this series back across the border for a prospective Game 6. Leading off, we've got Chet Lemon in center field. Alan Trammell is at shortstop. Kirk Gibson is in right field. Lou Whitaker is at second base. Darrell Evans is at first base. Lance Parrish is catching. Barbaro Garby is at third base. Larry Herndon's in left field. And the starting pitcher for the Tigers is Dan Petrie. We will meet him in the bottom of the first. And that's the Tigers lineup. Gullickson's going to have to stop if the Expos are going to celebrate a World Series crown here in 1985. Leading off this game for the Tigers is Chet Lemon, the center fielder. 265 average, 18 home runs, 68 RBIs in 85. We are using blue, white, and red dice tonight. Expos are the home team. Tigers win. Game 6 is tomorrow back at Tiger Stadium. Expos win. This 1985 replay is over. Gullickson will look into Mike Fitzgerald for the sign. Can the Tigers extend this series, or can the Expos clinch their place in history? Only the dice know for sure, and in order to find out what the dice know for sure, we have to go to the first pitch. So Gullickson, take it away. And he will take it away with a 467 against a righty. A 467 is going to be a fly ball into center field. Herm Winningham will get under that one for the Expos. He will make the catch, and that will be one out in the inning, and we are underway here at Olympic Stadium. Alan Trammell is now the batter for the Tigers. 258 average, 13 home runs, 57 RBIs in 85. Gullickson looking to Fitzgerald for the sign. He will wind up, and he will deal. With a 299. 299 against a righty. Trammell gets into one. That is deep to left field. Trammell with a power of a 5. Can he give the Tigers the first lead of the game? Trammell gets into that one, but it's going to die out there in left field. Going back for it is Tim Raines. He will be back to the track, back near the wall, but he'll have just enough room to squeeze that one down for out number 2 in this inning. Kirk Gibson, now the batter for the Tigers. 287 average, 29 home runs, 97 RBIs in 85. Gullickson will get the sign from Fitzgerald. Olympic Stadium is absolutely rabid tonight. Gullickson will set, and he will pitch. That is a 247 against a lefty. 247, he got away with one there. 248 would have been a base hit, but a 247 is going to get popped up into foul territory. Going for that one is going to be UL Washington. He will make the catch, and that will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Tigers here in the top of the first. Score is now Detroit 0, Montreal coming to bat. Starting pitcher for the Detroit Tigers is their number 2 starter and the loser of Game 2, Dan Petrie. 15-13 with a 3.36 ERA, 238 2/3 innings pitched, 109 strikeouts, 81 walks, 24 home runs in 85. And we will meet the Expos trying to finish this World Series right here. Leading off for the Expos, Herm Winningham is in center field. Hubie Brooks is at shortstop. Tim Raines is in left field. Vance Law is at second base. UL Washington's at third base. Andre Dawson is in right field. Terry Francona is at first base. Mike Fitzgerald is catching. And bringing up the 9th spot is, of course, the starting pitcher, Bill Gullickson. And leading off for the Expos tonight is the center fielder, Herm Winningham. 237 average, 3 home runs, 21 RBIs in 85. Petrie knows he cannot afford to make any mistakes tonight. He will get the sign from Parrish. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That is a 450 against a righty. 450 is going to be a fly ball into left field. Back for that one is going to be Herndon. He will make the catch, and that will be out number 1. Hubie Brooks is now the batter. 269 average, 13 home runs, 100 RBIs in 85. Petrie looking into Parrish for the sign. He will set. Here's the windup, and here's the deal. That is a 469 against a righty. 469. Brooks is going to get into one. That'll get into the gap. That'll get to the wall. And Brooks will be safe at second with a one-out double. Tim Raines, now the batter for the Expos. 320 average, 11 home runs, 41 RBIs, and 85. Expos already threatening. Petrie will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 166. And a 166 is going to be a walk. As Raines watches a slider sail wide for ball 4. He will trot to first. Infield will go to double play depth. And getting a very loud ovation from these Expos fans is Vance Law. 266 average, 10 home runs, 52 RBIs, and 85. But of course, Law's getting the ovation because of the grand slam he hit last night in Game 4. Petrie knows he cannot make that mistake tonight. Petrie will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 440, and a 440 against a righty. 440 is going to be a ground ball over to short. Trammell will get that one. He'll throw that over to Whitaker. That'll get Raines. Whitaker will make the pivot to Evans. That is in time. That is a 6-4-3 inning-ending double play. Stadium groans. Ugh. A hit, a double, and a walk, but the Expos ultimately let them go to waste. Scoreless here at Olympic Stadium after 1. A huge double play up the middle as the Tigers managed to get themselves out of danger. At least on that exchange. Gullickson will finish up his warm-up tosses once I remember to click back in the digital diamond. And the batter now is Lou Whitaker. 279 average, 21 home runs, 73 RBIs, and 85. He was 0 for 4 in his return to the lineup last night after his strained neck in Game 1. Right? No, actually, I take that back. He was 1 for 4 with a single. But the single came in garbage time in the 9th. Gullickson will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set. Here's the windup. And here comes the pitch. That is a 6-14. And a 6-14. Whitaker is going to get frozen by a changeup for strike 3. That is out number 1. Darrell Evans, making his return to the lineup after a broken nose, is now the batter. 248 average, 40 home runs, 94 RBIs, and 85. Gullickson looking in at Fitzgerald for the sign. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 155. And a 155 is going to get popped up on the infield. Calling everybody off is going to be Washington. He will make the catch, and that will be out number 2. Lance Parrish, now the batter with 2 outs for the Tigers. 273 average, 28 home runs, 98 RBIs, and 85. Gullickson gets the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set, here's the windup, and here's the pitch. That is a 682. That sounds like trouble. And a 682 is going to be a base hit for Parrish. He will get on with 2 outs to continue the inning. Barbaro Garby now steps into the batter's box. 257 average, 6 home runs, 29 RBIs, and 85. Gullickson gets the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 5-12. That'll be right back to Gullickson. He will take his time with that, throw that over to Francona at first, and retire the side. A hit, but the Tigers aren't able to do anything with it. We are still scoreless here at Olympic Stadium as we get set for the bottom of the second. For the Tigers, there is no tomorrow. Also, on that note, the fast score house rule that I've used, I haven't needed it yet, but the fast score house rule will not be in effect tonight. The Expos have to land the death blow themselves, and the Tigers have to evade it themselves. UL Washington will now step into the batter's box as Petrie finishes up his warm-up tosses to lead off the bottom of the second. 249 average, 1 home run, 17 RBIs in 85. What a time this would be for Washington to find the stands with a home run. Petrie will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 289 against a switch left, 289. Uh-oh! Washington's got a deep drive. That is deep to right field. Washington, unfortunately for him, with a power of a 0. What does he do with the pitch? Washington gets under that one. Going back for it is Gibson. He will come in. He'll have plenty of room to make that catch, and that'll be out number 1. Washington took it a long way, but Gibson was able to track it down. Andre Dawson, now the batter. 255 average, 23 home runs, 91 RBIs in 85. Petrie looking in at Parrish for the sign. He knows he dodged a scare with Washington. Petrie will set, and he will pitch. That is a 691. That'll turn into a 701, and Dawson's going to reach with a 1-out walk. Infield will go to double play depth. Batter now is Terry Francona for the Expos. I'm going to do a little bit of adjusting down here. 267 average, 2 home runs, 31 RBIs in 85. The Expos are going to put the hit and run on. Francona does not have a lot of power. Petrie will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 249 against a lefty. 249 is going to be grounded right back to the pitcher. Petrie will get that one. Dawson with a good lead. He will get to first. That'll be 2 outs in the inning. He'll get to second, actually, will Dawson. 2 outs in the inning. Mike Fitzgerald now steps into the batter's box. 207 average, 5 home runs, 34 RBIs in 85. Dawson waits at second with the first run of the game. Petrie will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 573. That does not sound like it's going to get the run in. That'll be Herndon, and that'll be a nice, easy fly ball. Herndon will make that catch slightly on the run. He'll get it, and that will retire the side. Nothing across except the walk for the Expos. Still scoreless here at Olympic Stadium after 2. Top of the third brings us to the bottom of the Tigers' order. Here's Larry Herndon leading off. 244 average, 12 home runs, 37 RBIs in 85. Gullickson looking in at Fitzgerald for the sign. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That is a 430 against a righty. That'll be grounded over to short. Brooks will get to that one easily, going to his left. He'll make the play over to first. 1 out in the inning. Dan Petrie now steps into the batter's box, courtesy of the pitcher batting card. Gullickson looking in at Petrie for the sign. Olympic Stadium still in a frenzy. Gullickson will set, and he will pitch. That is a 462 based on Petrie's I rating of a 3. 462 is going to be a fly ball and is going to be popped up on the infield. Francona into foul territory. He will make that catch for 2 outs in the inning. Chet Lemon now the batter. He's 0 for 1. Gullickson gets the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 6-15. And a 6-15 says Lemon's going to swing through a changeup for strike 3, inning over. 1-2-3 go the Tigers here in the top of the third. Still scoreless as we head for the Montreal half of the third. All quiet so far here at Olympic Stadium. For the stadium set to erupt at any time. Bill Gullickson will lead off for the Expos in the bottom of the third. Petrie will look to Parrish for the sign, and he will pitch. That is a 264 against a righty. 264 is going to turn into a 584. That'll be Lemon, and that'll be a fly ball to Lemon. He'll come in on the run, make that catch, out number 1. Here's Winningham. Winningham tonight is 0 for 1. Petrie looking in at Parrish for the sign. He will set. Here's the windup, and here's the deal. That is a 698. Oh boy, that's a 708. And Winningham gets into one that is deep to center field. Winningham, unfortunately for the Expos, with a power of a 2. What can he do with this pitch? Winningham's going to lift that one into center field. Lemon is back for it. He will make the catch, and that is out number 2. Brooks is now the batter. Brooks had a double his first time up. Petrie trying to get out of the inning against a powerful Expos lineup. Petrie will get the sign from Parrish, and he will pitch. That is a 485 against a righty. 485 is going to get lifted into center field. Once again, that's Lemon. He's got room. He'll make the catch and retire the side. All 3 putouts made by Chet Lemon as 1-2-3 go the Expos here in the bottom of the third. Still no score at Olympic Stadium after 3. Top of the fourth coming up brings us back to the top of the Tigers' order. Here's Trammell. Trammell is 0 for 1 tonight. Gullickson will get the sign from Fitzgerald once again. Both pitchers pitching goose eggs. Gullickson will set, and he will pitch. That is a 6-15, and a 6-15 says Trammell swings through a changeup for strike 3. That is out number 1. That is the third strikeout by Gullickson tonight. He only had 68 of them in 85. Excuse me. Gibson, now the batter. Gibson is 0 for 1. Gullickson gets the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 388. And a 388 is going to get popped up on the infield. Washington in foul territory. He will make that catch. 2 outs in the inning. Whitaker, now the batter. Whitaker's 0 for 1 tonight. Gullickson getting the sign from Fitzgerald once again. Fans at Olympic Stadium are loud. Gullickson will set, and he will pitch. That is a 193. And a 193, that's going to get to the wall, just barely drop. Whitaker will be safe at second on a bloop double. As the Tigers are now starting to threaten here in the top of the fourth. Here's Evans. Evans tonight is 0 for 1. Gullickson hoping to get out of trouble from a 2-out double. Gullickson will get the sign from Fitzgerald, and he will pitch. That is a 347. And that'll be an infield single for Evans. He will extend the inning once again. And that'll give Tigers runners at the corners with 2 outs. And the batter now is Parrish. Parrish tonight is 1-for-1. He's got a single. Fitzgerald goes out to talk to Gullickson on the mound and says, hey, what are you doing? We can't be taking stupid chances like this. We've got a World Series to win here. Gullickson will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 444 against a righty, and a 444. Ooh! Gullickson just gets out of trouble. 443 would have been a bases-clearing double, but instead that's going to be a fly ball into right field. Dawson, in his domain, he will make that catch, and that will retire the side. No runs on 2 hits. The Expos get out of trouble as we are still scoreless heading into the bottom of the 4th. Stadium size. Phew! As Philip Reynolds is first to join us here at Olympic Stadium. Just checking to make sure the hand isn't freezing on me. Petrie will finish up his warm-up tosses, and stepping into the batter's box to lead off with the heart of the order is Raines. Raines tonight reached on a walk. Still scoreless here in the bottom of the 4th. Expos lead this 1985 World Series 3-1. Tigers win. Game 6 is tomorrow night. Expos win. This replay is over. Petrie will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 412, and that's going to be a leadoff walk for Raines. He will trot to first as Petrie loses control of a slider on the inside corner for ball 4. Comes in a little too close for comfort as Raines has got to get out of the way of that one. That'll be ball 4, and Raines is at first base. Infield is at double play depth, and here's Law. Law tonight is 0-for-3. He grounded into a double play. I wonder if they want to try to steal here. I definitely don't want to do a hit and run here with Washington coming up. No. Law's going to swing away. Petrie will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 690, turning into a 700, and that's going to be a walk, as Law will also watch a slider sail wide of the zone. That's ball 4. And just like that, the Expos have something going on with nobody out, and the batter now is Washington. Washington tonight is 0-for-1. The Expos, Washington is going to swing away. His bunt isn't that great either. Petrie will get the sign from Parrish. Fans at Olympic Stadium are loud. Petrie will set, and he will pitch. That is a 109. That'll be a ground ball over right back to Petrie. He will turn, throw that over to short. That'll get Law. Trammell will try to make the pivot, but that won't be in time as Washington will reach on the fielder's choice. 1 out in the inning. Batter now is Dawson with 1 out. Dawson tonight has a walk. The infield has got to play in. Raines is going on contact. Raines waits 90 feet away with the first run of the game and a speed of 8. The Tigers are going to have a hell of a time throwing him out at the plate. 2, 2, 2, 0 actually for Garvey because he's at first base. So yeah. Raines is going on contact. Petrie will get the sign from Parrish. Fans at Olympic Stadium are going crazy. Petrie will set, and he will pitch. That is a 537. That's over to first base Evans. And that's going to get through Evans. That'll be a base hit into right field, and the Expos will take the lead. Raines will score easily. Washington goes to second. Dawson goes to first. 1-0 Expos. Stadium cheers. Yay! Francona, now the batter as the infield goes back to double play depth. Francona tonight is 0-for-1. Expos with a 1-0 lead now in the bottom of the fourth. Excuse me. Petrie will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 257 against a lefty. 257 is going to be a 587. That'll be Lemon. And a 587. That's going to get all the way to the wall in center field. Lemon won't get that one. That's going to be a double, and that will clear the bases. Washington will come around. He will score. Dawson scores all the way from first. Francona goes to second as the bases get cleared. 3-0 in favor of the Expos. Stadium cheers. Yay! Wait, what? Hold on. Back up. It would help if I enter the play correctly, because that did... I think I put in the wrong thing there. Into Digital Diamond. That should be a 2B plus, not an F8. There we go. Had to enter that correctly into Digital Diamond. Batter now is Fitzgerald with... Sorry, had a little bit of a minor problem with user error. Infield is now back. Batter's Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald tonight is 0 for 1. 3-0 Expos, bottom of the fourth. That just sent Montreal into a frenzy. Petrie will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 116, and a 116 is going to be grounded right back to the pitcher. Petrie will get that one. He'll throw that over to first. 2 outs in the inning. Francona will make third. As Francona gets a huge 2 RBI double in this inning. Batter now is Gullickson. Gullickson tonight is 0 for 1. He flew out. Petrie trying to get out of this inning with no further damage. He will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and here comes the pitch. That is a 318. And a 318 based on a contact rating of a 2 is going to be a called strike 3 on Gullickson. A changeup catches the corner for strike 3, inning over. But the Expos strike first here in the bottom of the fourth. 3 runs on 2 hits and 2 walks. Montreal with a 3-0 lead after 4. And as anemic as this Tigers offense has been, you have to wonder if that's going to be enough for the Expos. Philip is spending the night at work due to flooding in the area Belterra Casino. Hope everything goes well there. And you're all safe there, Philip. Thomas Bartlett now joins us here at Olympic Stadium. Just going to check the hand, make sure the camera hasn't frozen up on me. Top of the fifth brings us to the bottom of the Tigers' order. Here's Garby. Garby tonight is 0 for 1. 3-0 Expos here in the top of the fifth. Montreal knows they are 4 innings away, or actually they're 5 innings away from winning the World Series. Gullickson will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 524. That's right back to Fitzgerald, and that's going to get popped up behind the plate. Fitzgerald tracks it down quickly, throws his mask away, makes the catch. 1 out in the inning. Herndon, now the batter. Herndon is 0 for 1 tonight. Gullickson looking at it, Fitzgerald for the sign. Fans at Olympic Stadium haven't been quiet at all tonight. Gullickson will set, and here's the deal. That is a 502. That'll give us a rare play. And a 569 says... 569 is going to be a double for Herndon. Let's see. Left fielder is injured and center fielder... Actually, hold on. Deep drive to center to the outfield. Center fielder collides with the wall trying to make the catch. Roll on the collision. Okay. So left fielder is injured. Oh, that's bad. That's Raines. That's their big speed guy. So left fielder's injured, and the center fielder fields the ball. That is going to be Winningham who fields it. Herndon can try to challenge for a triple. He is going to stay put at second base with a double. So now we have to roll for an injury to Raines. Let's see, that is a... Let's see, that would roll on probably the collision table. Determine the modifier. Raines played in 150 games. So the modifier is a +5. So 5 plus 10 is 15. That's going to be a mild concussion. Raines is out for 2 days. Which means the batter now is going to be Petrie. But before we get to Petrie, we need to have a substitution in left field. Raines has to come out of the game. Let's see if the Expos have an alternate left fielder. So bear with me while I sort that out. Left fielder, they do. I was hoping to save him for later in the game, though. Let's see, we need a new left fielder, we said. Okay. Coming into play left field for the Expos. Yep, I went to the right place. Bear in mind with me while I get Digital Diamond caught up. Excuse me. I'm gaseous tonight. Let's see, 3 spot. If you'll zip it, Digital Diamond, I'm going to fix that. Actually, Winningham... Actually, no. Here's what we're going to do instead of that. Better plan. We're going to move Winningham to left field, and Webster's going to come in to play center field. That's how we're going to do that. So Herm Winningham is going to move into left field. Mitch Webster is going to come into the lineup to play center field for the Expos. Sorry for the slow derpiness there, but we had to get the injury sorted out. And as we mentioned, Petrie, now the batter with 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Losing that speed is a big blow for the Expos, though. Gullickson will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 170, and a 170 is going to be a bloop single, as Petrie is going to try to help out his own cause. As Petrie jumps up and down at first and says, DH? I don't need no stinking DH. Here's Lemon. Lemon tonight is 0 for 2. The Expos, what do they want to do here? What do their arms look like? They are going to... They're going to bring the infield... They're going to bring the infield in and try to do everything they can to prevent Herndon from scoring. They don't want to have any chance of the Tigers getting back into this game. Gullickson will get the sign from Fitzgerald. Herndon is going on contact. Gullickson will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 694. And a 694, that's going to clear the bases as Lemon's going to get into that one. He's going to have a clutch triple, and that will empty the bases. Herndon and Petrie will both score. Lemon goes to third, 3-2 Expos. Stadium barfs. Blech. As Lemon's at third, batter now is Trammell. Trammell tonight is 0 for 2. Lemon still going on contact. Lemon is also going on contact. Gullickson will get the sign from Fitzgerald. Fans at Olympic Stadium are suddenly nervous. Gullickson will set, and he will pitch. That is a 276 against a righty. 276 is going to be a 566. That'll be over to Brooks. And that's going to get through Brooks. That'll be a base hit, and this game is tied. Lemon will score. Trammell will go to first. We are tied at 3. Stadium groans. Ugh. Here's Gibson. Gibson is 0 for 2. Infield, back to double play depth. Gullickson can't believe what he's seen. Neither can the faithful at Olympic Stadium. Gullickson will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 496. Uh-oh. 496 against a righty. Oh, dear. That is a problem because Gibson's deep to right field with a power of a 9. Does Gibson give the Tigers the lead? Gibson gets into that one, but he is just barely under it. Dawson near the track. He will make the catch. 2 outs in the inning. Wow. That was a very scary situation, but the Expos are not out of the woods yet. Here's Whitaker with 2 outs. Whitaker is 1 for 2 with a double tonight. Gullickson trying to keep the damage right here. Gullickson will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 142. And a 142 is going to be a hard grounder right to Francona. He'll wave off Gullickson coming over to cover the bag. Take that over himself, and that will retire the side. But what an inning for the Tigers as they respond to the Expos right away with 3 runs on 4 hits, including a triple by Lemon that cleared the bases. We are tied at 3 here at Olympic Stadium as we get set for the bottom of the 5th. And believe me, that could have been a whole lot worse for the Expos. Leading off the bottom of the 5th tonight is Winningham. Winningham tonight is 0 for 2. Don't forget, if you haven't already, make sure you vote in the Summer 2025 project poll for which project you want to see on the channel next. The more votes a project gets, the more dice it'll roll during the 1985 season recap and reveal show. Petrie will look to Parrish for the sign. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 175. And a 175 is going to be a hard grounder right to Evans. Evans will wave off Petrie coming over to cover the bag. He'll tag the bag himself. 1 out in the inning. Brooks, now the batter. Brooks tonight is 1 for 2. He's got a double. Petrie will look in at Parrish for the sign. He will set. Here's the windup. And here comes the pitch. That is a 677. That'll turn into a 687. And that'll be a base hit for Brooks. He will get on with a 1-out single. Infield will go to double play depth. And taking his first at-bat is going to be Mitch Webster. 274 average, 11 home runs, 30 RBIs, and 85. Brooks, not much of a threat to steal. He will hold. Webster with great power. He's going to swing away. Petrie will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 685. That'll turn into a 695. And that'll be ball four as a slider sails wide of the zone and Webster goes to first, Brooks to second. And now the Expos have something going on with one out. Batter now is Law. Law is 0 for 1 with a walk, but he hit into a double play in a very similar situation. Fans at Olympic Stadium are loud. Petrie will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and here comes the pitch. A 264 against a righty. 264 is going to be a 584. That'll be Lemon. And that'll be a fly ball into center field. Lemon going back for that one. He will make the catch for 2 outs in the inning. Brooks will tag on the play. Here comes the throw. Brooks is safe. He will get to third as he tags up on the fly ball. It was deep enough. 2 outs in the inning. Washington, now the batter. Washington is 0 for 2 tonight. Fans at Olympic Stadium are loud once again. Petrie will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and here comes the pitch. That is a 427 against a righty. 427. Washington's going to get into one. That'll get to the wall, and Washington will clear the bases with his own triple. Brooks will come around and will trot to the plate. Webster will come all the way around from first. He will score. Washington goes to third. Expos retake the lead 5-3. Stadium cheers. Yay! Dawson, now the batter with 2 outs. Dawson tonight is 1 for 1 with a single and a walk. We're going to get some activity in the Tigers' bullpen, as this is not the night to screw around. Starting to get loose for the Tigers. Let's see, lefty, righty, righty. The Tigers, I think, want long relief. They're going to get Juan Behringer warming up now. Washington waits at third for the pitch from Petrie. Dawson also waiting for the pitch. Dawson will get the sign from Parrish. Fans at Petrie will get the sign from Parrish. Fans at Olympic Stadium are loud. Petrie will set, and he will pitch. That is a 216. And against a righty, a 216. Dawson's going to get frozen by the high heat. Strike 3, inning over. But the Expos retake the lead. 2 runs on 2 hits and a walk. Montreal now has a 5-3 lead after 5. Gullickson will come out to start the 6th, but we will have activity in the Expos bullpen, as getting loose for Montreal is going to be lefty and then a whole mess of righties. Gary Lucas is going to start getting loose for the Expos tonight. Leading off the top of the 6th is the middle of the Tigers' order. Here's Evans. Evans tonight is 1 for 2 with a single. Gullickson looking in at Fitzgerald for the sign. 5-3 Expos, top of the 6th. Gullickson takes the sign. He will wind up, and he will deal. That is a 676 and a 676. That's going to be a bloop single for Evans. He will get on with the leadoff base hit. That'll be the first point of pitcher fatigue on Evans, which I'll get to, or on Gullickson, which I'll get to in a second. Infield at double play depth. Batter now is Parrish. Parrish has a single tonight. There's the first point of fatigue on Gullickson. Gullickson will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 148. And a 148 is going to get popped up into foul territory. Washington going into foul territory. He will make the catch for 1 out in the inning. Batter now is Garby. Garby tonight is 0 for 2. Gullickson trying to get out of the inning. He will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set, and he will pitch. A 1-12 is going to be grounded over to Francona. Gullickson coming over to cover. That'll be 2 outs in the inning. Evans will go to second on the play. And here's Herndon. Herndon tonight is 1 for 2. He's got a double. Gullickson trying to get out of the inning. Pitcher's spot is due up third in the inning, in the bottom of the 6th. Gullickson will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set, and he will pitch. Into a 4-19 against a righty. 4-19 is going to be grounded over to short. Brooks will get that one. He'll take his time, throw that over to first, and retire the side. Nothing across except the single for the Tigers. Still 5-3 Expos as we get set for the bottom of the 6th. As with every out, the Expos are growing louder, knowing that they're closing in on this 1985 World Series title. Leading off for the Expos tonight, in the bottom of the 6th, is Francona. Francona tonight is 1 for 2. He's got a double. He actually has a 2 RBI double tonight. Petrie will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 225 against a lefty. 225. That's going to be a walk, as Francona will go to first with a leadoff walk. Petrie gets a slider a little bit too far in, and Francona will be safe at first. Infield goes to double play depth. Batter now is Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald tonight is actually 0 for 1. Francona, not much of a threat to steal. He will hold. Petrie gets the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 238 against a righty. 238 is going to be grounded over to second. Picking that up is Whitaker. He'll throw that over second to get Trammell, or over to Trammell to get Francona. Trammell will make the pivot over to Evans. That is in time. That'll be a 4-6-3 double play. 2 outs in the inning. Stadium groans. Ugh. As Francona gets erased. Gullickson is going to come out of the game. Coming into pinch hit for the Expos. He's also going to take over at third base as Washington's day is going to be done. Once Digital Diamond decides it wants to catch up with me tonight. Is going to be Tim Wallach. 260 average, 22 home runs, 81 RBIs, and 85. Petrie knows he's got to be careful with Wallach. A mistake could very easily end up going to Mars. Petrie will get the sign from Parrish. Fans at Olympic Stadium are loud. Petrie will set, and he will pitch. That is a 203. That'll turn into a 403 against a righty. And Wallach's going to ground that one over to second. Whitaker will get that one. He'll throw that over to first, and that will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Expos here in the bottom of the 6th. Montreal protecting a 5-3 lead after 6. Digital Diamond yelling at me because we need to take care of a couple things. First order of business is that the Expos need a pitcher. Coming in to pitch for the Expos is going to be Gary Lucas. 6-2 with a 3.19 ERA. 67 2/3 innings pitched. 31 strikeouts. 24 walks. 6 home runs in 85. Wallach is also going to stay in the game. He will take over for Washington at third base. I'm just waiting for Digital Diamond to catch up with me on that note. Let's see, Washington was batting in the 5 spot. Okay. All right. We're all set there. Petrie is going to come out of the game. The Tigers are going to go to the bench. They're going to bring in a pinch hitter. Coming in to pinch hit for the Tigers, once Digital Diamond catches up with me again, is going to be Alejandro Sanchez. 248 average, 6 home runs, 12 RBIs in 85. Lucas looking in at Fitzgerald for the sign. 5-3 Expos, top of the 7th. Lucas will set, and he will pitch. That is a 246. And a 246 is going to be a 576. That'll be into left field, where Winningham's taking over. The red die is equal to his fielding. Actually, we don't care about fielding in the outfield. So left field, blue die is greater than or equal to arm. Nope, that's actually going to be a fly ball. Wait, hold on. We care about range here. Wait. Less than or equal to range is a fly out, which it's not. That'll be a base hit, and it'll only be a single. Sanchez will reach with a leadoff single. Ratings defense is still taking me a little getting used to. But Sanchez will have a single. Infield will go to double play depth. Batter now is Lemon. Lemon tonight is 1 for 3 with a 2 RBI trip. Actually, yeah, with a 2 RBI triple. Right? No. No, he doesn't have a 2 RBI triple tonight. Never mind. He does have a triple tonight, though. Infield at double play depth. Lucas will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 282. That sounds like trouble against a righty. 282, yeah. That is deep to left field. Lemon with a power of a 7. Are the Expos or the Tigers able to tie this game with a power of a 7? Lemon's under that one. That's into left field, but that's going to be a fly ball that's going to die out there. Winningham will get under that one. He'll make the catch for 1 out in the inning. Trammell, now the batter with 1 out. Trammell is 1 for 3 with a single. Lucas looking in at Fitzgerald for the sign. Fans at Olympic Stadium are loud. Lucas will set, and he will pitch. That is a 223 against a righty. 223 is going to be grounded over to third. Wallach will grab that one, take his time, throw it across the diamond. 2 outs in the inning as Sanchez will go to second on the play. Batter now is Gibson. Gibson tonight is 0 for 3. Lucas trying to get out of the inning with nothing across except the single. Lucas will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set, and here comes the pitch. That is a 369. And Gibson swings through a changeup for strike 3, inning over. After a leadoff single, 1, 2, 3 go the Tigers here in the top of the 7th as they can't get anything else out of it. Score is now 5-3 Expos as we get set for the bottom of the 7th. We are at the 7th inning stretch. Sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." I will take a small break. Tigers win. Game 6 is tomorrow night. We will be back at Tiger Stadium for that. Expos win. This 1985 replay is over, and we will start the countdown to the 1985 season recap and reveal show. That will be on Sunday, April 20th. So stay tuned for that, and make sure you go vote in the poll for the Summer 2025 project if you want to influence what's going to come next on the channel. Remember, the more dice a project gets, the more votes a project gets, the more dice it'll roll during the 1985 season recap and reveal show. Tigers need a pitcher. Coming in to pitch to start the bottom of the 7th for the Tigers. Once again, once Digital Diamond catches up with me. Is going to be Juan Berenger, 5-6 with a 5.59 ERA, 95 innings pitched, 82 strikeouts, 48 walks, 12 home runs, and 85. He is going to be dealing with the top of the Expos order. Leading off is Winningham. Winningham tonight is 0 for 3. Berenger knows he's got to stop the bleeding right here. We're going to get some more activity in the Expos bullpen as warming up for the Expos. Let's see, they're looking at lefty, lefty, righty. The Expos are going to get Jack O'Connor warming up. Berenger will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 362, and a 362 is going to be a base hit on the infield. That'll be a seeing eye single, as Winningham will have himself a single. Infield will go to double play depth. The batter now is Brooks. Brooks tonight is 2 for 3 with a single and a double. Hopefully you guys are enjoying a bit of Saturday night baseball here. Berenger will get the sign from Parrish. Fans at Olympic Stadium have been loud all night. Berenger will set, and he will pitch. That is a 326. And a 326 is going to be a fly ball into right field. Gibson back for that one. He'll be back near the track, but he'll have plenty of room to track that down for out number 1. Webster, now the batter. Webster tonight is... Actually, Webster has a walk. He came in as part of an injury substitution for Tim Raines. Berenger will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and here comes the pitch. That is a 167, and that's going to be a walk as Berenger will lose control of a slider for ball 4, as Webster will trot to first on the play. Expos with something going on here with 1 out. And the batter now is Law. Law tonight is 0 for 2, but he does have a walk. Berenger knows he's in a bit of a jam here with Winningham at second, Webster at first. Law hit the grand slam last night that basically slammed the door on the Tigers' momentum. Beringer will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and here comes the pitch. That is a 671. That'll turn into a 681, and that'll be a base hit that'll be a base hit. That'll get out of the infield, and it'll extend the Expos' lead. Winningham will score. Webster, I think, will come all the way around to score as well. Law will go to first. Let me double check that. Nope. Webster goes to third, but the Expos will get another run out of that. Hold up. Just got to make some changes here. 6-3 Expos. Stadium cheers. Yay! Batter now is Wallach. Wallach tonight has a triple. Infield has got to play in. Webster 2-2-2-0. Webster is going on contact. The Expos are threatening to blow this game wide open. Let me just check, make sure everything looks good in OBS. Okay? Everything is good there. Beringer knows he's in a lot of trouble here. Beringer will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 127. That'll turn into a 327. And Wallach tries to do too much with a slider. That is going to be strike 3 and out number 2. Batter now is Dawson. Dawson tonight is 1 for 2 with a single and a walk. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Beringer gets the sign from Parrish. Fans at Olympic Stadium are loud. Beringer will set, and he will pitch. That is a 501. That's going to give us a rare play with 2 outs. Let's see where we go on the rare play chart. We've got runners at first and third, so we use the runner on first rare plays. That is a 348, and a 348 says, soft fly ball into shallow right field. Runner on first goes halfway, unsure if the ball will be caught. Second baseman and the right fielder converge, but the ball drops in for a hit. Right fielder may force the runner at second by successfully challenging their speed. Right fielder is Gibson with an arm of a 1. Law's got a speed of a 2. They got to try to challenge. They got to try to challenge that. So, who had the challenge here? This is Gibson. He's got to beat a 12 to second base. He's trying to force R1 at second base. So Gibson's got to beat a 12. And he does. Gibson with an arm. It was a very shallow fly ball, but Gibson gets to it. He'll force out Law at second, and that will retire the side. So we're going to call that a G3 unassisted. That'll get us to the same place. But that was Gibson forcing out the runner. So we'll call that a G9. That'll get us to the same place in the score sheet. No runs, a hit, and a walk for the Expos. Score is now, actually 1 run, I take that back. 1 run on 2 hits and a walk. Score is now 6-3 Expos after 7. Just checking to make sure everything looks good there. Lucas will come out to start the 8th. He will have the middle of the Tigers' order to deal with, though. Here's Whitaker. Whitaker tonight is 1 for 3. He's got a double. Expos know they're 6 outs away from winning this World Series in this replay. Lucas will get the sign from Fitzgerald. O'Connor continuing to throw. Lucas will set, and he will pitch. A 238 against a lefty. 238, that's going to be a base hit for Whitaker. He will have a single. And that'll be the first point of pitcher fatigue on Lucas. The Expos are probably not going to have a long leash with Lucas. Infield will go to double play depth. Batter now is Evans. Evans tonight is 2 for 3 with 2 singles. Lucas will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 445. Against a lefty, 445 is going to be grounded right in front of the plate. Fitzgerald will get that one. He will throw it over to first. 1 out in the inning. Whitaker will go to second on the play. Batter now is Parrish. Parrish tonight is 1 for 3. He's got a single. Lucas will pitch to Parrish. O'Connor ready to come in. Lucas will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 364. And a 364 is going to get popped up on the infield. Francona calls everybody off in the grass. He will make the catch for 2 outs in the inning. Garby is now the batter. Garby tonight is 0 for 3. Lucas trying to get out of the top of the 8th. Whitaker waits at second. Lucas will get the sign from Fitzgerald. Fans at Olympic Stadium are loud. Lucas will set, and he will pitch. That is a 174. And a 174 is going to be a wild pitch. Whitaker will move over to third on the wild pitch. That will also be ball 1. We will do it again. A 483. That sounds like trouble. 483 against a lefty is going to be a fly ball into center field. Back for that one is Webster. He will make the catch, and that will retire the side. A single and a wild pitch, but the Tigers get nothing out of it. Still 6-3 Expos as we get set for the bottom of the 8th. Let me just check, make sure the camera hasn't frozen up on me. Okay, we're good there. Francona will step into the batter's box. Francona tonight is 1 for 2 with a double and a walk. The Expos manager is going to tell O'Connor to sit down, and instead they're going to get the closer, Jeff Reardon, warming up. The Expos do not want any funny business tonight. Behringer will get the sign from Parrish. Fans at Olympic Stadium are going nuts. Behringer will set, and he will pitch. That is a 627. And a 627 is going to get popped up on the infield. Whitaker gets under that one in the grass. He will make the catch. 1 out in the inning. Fitzgerald, now the batter. Fitzgerald is 0 for 3 tonight. Behringer will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 653. And that'll be grounded over to third. Grabbing that one is going to be Garby. He will throw that across the diamond. 2 outs in the inning. Lucas is going to come out of the game. The Expos are going to go to the bench once again. Coming in to pinch hit for the Expos, I'm going to look and see who I want to bring in. Somebody who does well against righties. Coming in to pinch hit for the Expos is going to be Fred Manrique. 308 average, 1 home run, 1 RBI in 85. Behringer will get the sign from Parrish. Reardon continuing to throw. Behringer gets the sign from Parrish. Fans at Olympic Stadium are getting into a frenzy. Behringer will set, and he will pitch. That is a 662. That'll turn into a 672. That'll be a wild pitch. Ball 1. We will do it again. That'll be a 546. That'll be over to second base, where Whitaker's looking at that one. And that's going to slip through. Manrique will be at first with a single. He's not going to try to extend anything here. Batter now with 2 outs is Winningham. Winningham tonight is 1 for 4. Behringer trying to get out of the 8th. He will get the sign from Parrish. Fans at Olympic Stadium still in their frenzy. Behringer will set, and he will pitch. That is a 637. And that'll be a fly ball into center field. Lemon back for that one. He will make the catch, and that will retire the side. No runs and a hit for the Expos, but Montreal still holding onto a 6-3 lead after 8. But now we have the age-old question to answer of, will we see some 9th inning magic? After avenging their wild card loss to Kansas City in 1991, then blasting through the Yankees in 4 games and going to war with the California Angels in 7 in the ALCS, the Detroit Tigers are running out of outs. And the last name they want to hear right now, as the Expos need a pitcher, is the closer's name. That closer for the Expos is, of course, Jeff Reardon. 2-8 with 41 saves, 3.18 ERA, 87 2/3 innings pitched, 67 strikeouts, 26 walks, 7 home runs in 85. The ask, not that big in the grand scheme of things. Just come in, stop the Tigers, win the World Series. Nothing all that crazy. Batter now is Herndon, as it is an absolute frenzy here at Olympic Stadium. Herndon tonight is 1 for 3 with a double. Reardon looking at Fitzgerald for the sign. Montreal is going absolutely nuts. I can hardly hear myself think here. Reardon will set. Here's the kick. And here comes the pitch. That is a 105. That'll turn into a 305. Herndon swings through a curveball for strike 3. That is out number 1. Stadium cheers. Yay! Behringer is going to come out of the game. They need somebody who can hit a righty well. Coming in to pinch hit for the Tigers, handling righties, is going to be... the Tigers' bench is not that good against righties, but I think he's the best they've got right now. Coming in to pinch hit for the Tigers is going to be Dave Bergman. .179 average, 3 home runs, 7 RBIs in 85. He was the substitute first baseman while Whitaker was dealing with his broken nose. Or not Whitaker. Evans was dealing with his, what was it, broken nose, I thought? Yeah, broken nose. Reardon looking in at Fitzgerald for the sign. Olympic Stadium going absolutely nuts. Reardon will set, and he will pitch. That is a 471 against a righty. 471. That is lined to second base. Putting up his glove is Law. Pow! Ball slams into it. 2 outs in the inning. And the last chance for the Tigers comes to Chet Lemon. Lemon tonight is 1 for 4. He's got a triple. Expos get this next out. Olympic Stadium is going to come absolutely unglued. Lemon gets on. Trammell comes to the plate. Reardon looking in at Fitzgerald for the sign. He will shake him off a couple times. Now he'll get a sign he likes. Reardon will set. Olympic Stadium is all set to come unglued with this next out. Reardon will set. Here's the kick. Here comes the pitch. That is a 546. That's over to second base, Law. And it's grounded right to him. Law's got it. He'll pump once, pump twice, pump 3 times, throw to first. That's your game. That's your series. That's your season. That's your championship. The Montreal Expos have won the 1985 World Series by winning Game 5 by a final score of 6-3. Lemon leaves. Stadium goes berserk. Yay, yay, yay! And here come the Expos. They're all mobbing Reardon on the mound. And somehow, the yay, yay, yay does not do this moment justice. Take the loudest reaction you've ever heard, multiply it by about 10, and there you might have a little better idea of what we're experiencing here at Olympic Stadium, as it is absolute pandemonium here at Olympic Stadium. Final line score coming up. For the Expos, 6 runs on 8 hits and no errors. For the Tigers, 3 runs on 10 hits and no errors. Winning pitcher tonight is going to be Bill Gullickson. He will get the win. Dan Petrie will end up with the loss, and Jeff Reardon will end up with a save. Gary Lucas will get a hold. But the Montreal Expos have won this 1985 World Series. And our MVP for the 1985 World Series is going to be the architect of the victories in both games 1 and 4, beating Jack Morris twice. The World Series MVP for 1985 is going to be Bryn Smith. So congratulations to Bryn Smith on winning the World Series MVP, and congratulations to the Montreal Expos on winning this 1985 season replay. And that will start my break from non-Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday videos. At least the bigger stuff. I do have some unboxings coming in the next few days that we will be getting to. So we'll be catching up on a lot of small stuff. But let's wrap this video up. Tomorrow, we'll be starting the spring campaign in Arkham Horror, the card game, with the first scenario, Ice and Death. Wednesday, we'll be doing a full ticker tape test with Stratomatic Hockey. Saturday next week, Mystical Munchies will continue out of the Can You Take the Heat cookbook with the side, JR's Country Cornbread. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care, everyone. The Montreal Expos win this 1985 World Series with a final score in Game 5 of 6-3. The Expos will take this series by a final series score of 4-1. The 1985 season recap and reveal show will be Sunday, April 20th. As for the immediate future, take care, and I will see you guys tomorrow to start the spring campaign.